I'm in the sky, above the clouds. You saw me fall, but catch me now. They wonder why. Fuck it, I'm flying.
It's good to be here, man.
Fuck it, I'm flying.
Yeah, I know your situation seems depressing. Know that in every situation there's a lesson to be learned. Let the roof burn, let the drain flow. Take a second, let these suckers know they can never hold you down. Shit, they never held you.
My name's Mike Berry, filmmaker, author, motivational speaker.
Okay. He a lot more than that too. But we'll uncover some of that as we go along. So, where did you start?
I started my career off in entertainment. Most people know me as Big Gank. I was a rapper. In my former life, had a couple top 100 albums. Toured. We did a lot of touring, did a lot of shows. So if you ask most people, where I began, they're definitely gonna say my beginnings come in hip hop.
And then after, so where did the hip hop thing start? Like what give me. Was you a b-boy? Was you breakdancing?
Yeah, you know what? Hip hop for me started in the early '80s, and like most kids in that time, the most popular thing to do was to listen to the club style show on TV. Johnny O and the Sorcerer Crew, DJ Flash and the Black Frost Crew, Alpha Kappa mixes. Like, it was just, hip hop was just bubbling. And I used to recite the words that these guys would say on the club style show. And I would take it back to school and tell my friends, and they thought that, man, that was just amazing. So then slowly, over time, I would add a few rhymes to the end of those rhymes. Mm-hmm. And those was rhymes that I actually wrote myself. And and I just got better and better, man. And I entered a couple of contests, man, and didn't get booed. And, I had like a booming voice. I always was blessed with this like booming voice. And so, I just started rocking shows. And so what I would do is I would memorize these people's lines, and I would use less of them and use more of mine. I would use the best lines of theirs mixed with mine till one day I didn't have to use their lines anymore. Back then my name was Mr. Smooth. So that's where I started. And, Big Gank actually came in prison. I was doing 6 to 25 years for a robbery and a kidnapping. And one day I was out on the yard, and a guy named Dirty Rich from Garden Valley Projects, he was like, man, everything you say is gangster. You calling yourself Mike Nice, Mr. Smooth and Mike Nice. We're going to start calling you Big Gangster Mike. And so my name in jail became Big Gangster Mike, and then it became Gangster Mike. And then over time, they just started saying, Gank, what's up? And Gank stuck. And most people just know me as Gank.
Dang, I thought I heard all your stories. That's the first time me hearing how you got that name.
Yeah.
What, so in like, how long did you say you did?
I did 6 years, about 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
You was like, who did you meet anybody? Like, how did all of that work out? How did it turn into Fate Entertainment, all of that stuff?
All right, so while I was in jail, man, like, no cap, man, I used to shut the whole yard down. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, I bring out 1,500, 2,000 people gonna hit the yard to see me rap. So, funny story, I got transferred to this particular prison in London on Yard Day. And so on Yard Day, this guy named Art and 250 was rapping. And so only guy I knew at the time was Lero. I said, Lero, man, who do I talk to so I can rap? So they talked to one of the like shot caller dudes. His name was Quake. And he said, yeah, let the young dude rap. And when I started rapping, man, it got so crazy that the goon squad came out to the yard. They thought it was a riot. It's like 2,500 people on the yard surrounding me. And from that day on, it was my yard. And nobody could see me. He just couldn't, man. And so it was this guy, man, his name was Ace Money. He was a rapper. We was gonna do a show on Yard Day, and we was rehearsing, and he heard me rapping. He was like, I can't do it. I'm not going after that guy or before that guy or anything like that. And he told me he was going home in a few months, and he was like, man, look, when you get out, I'm gonna put you on. And when I got out, man, he called me. I was home like 3 days, and he was like, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And he took me to the studio, and Fade Entertainment was gone. He's like, we need a name. And his brother had just passed. His name was Antonio Maurice Robinson, but they called him T Fade. And I was like, man, let's call it Fade Entertainment. And it was off and running.
Mm-hmm. So then on down the line, like moving forward, that went on. Then what was your next move? Like what was the next like step in the process to you getting here?
Then, man, you know, I thought rap was the way, man. But at the time, man, I was dealing with, you know, a severe case of depression, man. I actually fell into a depression about 45 days before I got out of prison. So I got a parole in June, and I was supposed to go June 20th, and I was supposed to go home August 27th, man. And I didn't have problems in jail. I was well-liked. I was well-respected. I was the guy. I was one of the guys. But one day I woke up on a Sunday, man, about 10:30. I'll never forget it, man. And I felt like my girl broke up with me, man. I had this, like, grieving feeling in my heart like you get from a bad breakup. And I remember the next day I had it, and the next day and the next day, and I didn't know what it was. I never heard the word depression. And I say this to people, man, and I know they don't quite understand, and it hit me so fast that before I got out of prison, I was suicidal, like full-fledged suicidal. And I'm talking about 60 days from the time I first held it and felt it. And when I got home, man, I literally, within the first 7 days, I had wrote a letter to my parents, my brother, my sister, my cousin, and a couple more people. And I actually sat on the edge of a bed with a gun to kill myself. This is how intense it was. And I'm talking about it hit me that hard in 60 days. I had never felt depressed. And in 60 days, I was in a hole. And so when I got out, you know, I was doing the rapping thing, but I was suffering from depression, man, in the worst way. And so I just had this skewed idea that I wanted to make money for my friends and make money for my family and leave my kids something. So before I commit suicide, I'm going to blow up as a rapper. This is the only thing that kept me going, is because so many people were starting to depend on me, like, Gank, you the way out. And so I had this thing. I was like, man, in 365 days, I'm out of here. And then in 365 days, we was having some success. So I was like, give it another 365 days. And, you know, a lot of times when I was on tour, people, if they think back, man, I never went to an after party. Never. I didn't do nothing, man. You know how many situations it was bad, man. It was just dark. It was dark. Like, I can't even explain it, but I hadn't even heard the word depression yet. So I didn't know what I was feeling. I just knew something wasn't right. And so, you know, we continued rapping, man, and the depression was bad, and it was just so bad, man. And, you know, it got to a point where something happened where me and management just had a disagreement, and I think that was the push I needed to get that weight off my shoulders. So I quit. Basically, I just walked away from Fade Entertainment. I walked away from what was going on. You know, a couple record deals fell through, but we still could have salvaged it. But, man, I was in such a hole mentally, man. Like, every day was a chore, man. Like, I was probably suicidal, man. No cap, for about 5 years, bro. Like, when I think back in retrospect, I don't know how I did it. It was hard. Feel me out, man. I feel away right now, even just going back there, because it was such a thing, man. So I remember one day I was driving down the street, and 9/11, and I went to try to get a job, man. I was just so mad at the label, and I went to get a job, and I ended up getting a job at H.H. Gregg. They was just opening, and I'm getting to a point here. One day, this girl got a job, but nobody wanted to talk to her. And I said, why y'all treat her like that? And they was like, man, she take medication. She depressed. She had told somebody that. And I was like, she depressed? What you mean? And they said, you know, something she said. So I made my way back there, and I stood next to her. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mike. And I tried to pretend like it was just casual conversation. I was like, why everybody don't want to be around you? They say you depressed. What is that? And she explained it exactly what I was feeling. That was the first time I ever heard the word depression. And I knew, because I used to think, man, I used to think I was the only person in the whole world was feeling that shit, man. Like, Like, for real, man, when I think back on that shit, it was fucked up. Like, for real, man, it was bad. So I really identify with people, man, when they be talking about it because it was bad. You know, it cost me a lot of personal relationships, time, interpersonal relationships. Man, my self-esteem was shot. Man, I was sleeping with as many girls as I wanted to, but I had the worst self-esteem. You know, I just couldn't see no way out. You know, like, man, I ain't never even, like, talking about it, man. It was bad, man. Like, you know, when people commit suicide, man, I don't know what that thing is that pushed them over the edge, but I understand because I was there. You feel me? But I didn't even have nobody to talk to, man. Like, I remember going to my friend, man, and just explaining to him. And he said something to the effect of, man, you all right. And that was the end of that conversation. I remember going to my mother, and she was like, you all right? I wasn't all right. You feel me? But, you know, that was a time, man, society just didn't treat that shit like they treat it now. It wasn't accepted, man. You know, and on top of that, I was an alpha type male. You know what I mean? Like, I was you know, people looked at me a certain way. Man, it's just carrying that was a lot. Mm-hmm. You know.
How did like, I know you just said that just hearing her talk about it, it made you feel like, dang, you're not the only person. So it made you feel not so alone. Yeah. What did you do to follow that up? Because that was, I remember you working at HH Greg, and like I said earlier, everything you do it 100%. You know everything about every single TV, every single thing that's coming out of there. You know all the specs and the rigs and everything you do. You kind of like a fanatic at it. Yeah. So did this interaction, did this kind of make you a fanatic into better understanding depression itself and changing your outlook? How did it help you? How did your understanding, the newfound?
Well, you know, and it's crazy you say that because I was $1 million writer at HH Grid. I wrote $1.5 million. People under me was writing 600, 500. So yeah, it was obsessive, but it was still bad, man. I had a lot of confrontations with customers. It was just crazy, man. But because I was dealing with a lot of mind reading. That was.
What you mean mind reading?
Mind reading is a thought error where, you know, customer come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, they look at me. I done made up a whole scenario in my head why they don't like me. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, that was bad. I was mind reading and fortune telling. Like, those are the two things that I was bad with. But when she said that, I went and sought help, man. But it wasn't the time, man. They put me on Zoloft. Man, I thought that was driving me crazy. It was the wrong medicine.
Made you kind of aggressive, made you anxious.
Anxious, mm-hmm. You know, and at the time, man, again, you know, I was married, man. And, you know, so my wife threw that shit in my face a couple times. You feel me? Like, mm-hmm. It was just, nobody was hip to it yet. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna hold it against her, but you know, you know what I mean? Like, Take your pills. So, man, them went in the garbage, man. And I literally roughed it out, man, until 2020. We talking about from 2003, 2004, about 2005 was when I saw somebody somewhere around in there, and man, I roughed it out. I don't even see how I did it, man. Like, I don't see how I did it.
What was the thing that got you over the hill? Like, got you over, like, you know, man, you know, once you've been on that hill, you know it. Yeah. And you become better at kind of deterring the emotions, that you start feeling the emotions and understanding your body and your brain a lot better. So you start moving away from it when you see it. Or what was the thing that got you over that?
Well, to be honest, man, unselfishness got me over it because I just didn't want to dump at the feet of my children the pain I was feeling and have them go through it. You feel me? Like, that's it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't better. I'm just my thought process is very driven. So I'm going to be driven, depressed or not. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't dealing with it. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. You know, I just had the wrong first couple of therapists. And so they turned me off, you know what I'm saying? So I never went back for years. And then when I went back, this wasn't the therapist. Some more years. So in those years, man, I just was rolling with the punches, man. Like, man, I don't want my daughter to be depressed because her dad killed himself. That's the only thing that kept me going was that. It was nothing else. It was no quality of life that was keeping me. It was no, you know, and I done did a lot of things, man, movie. It was none of that, man. It was just, I just didn't want my kids to just possibly, I just said, Mike, man, you're gonna have to suck it up and take it for the team. And, I'm gonna say as of late, man, I done had the biggest breakthroughs. You know what I mean? Because I just had to sit back and reflect and say, man, as crappy as I felt, as alone as I felt, I'm loved, I'm well respected. I've done some amazing things, wrote a best-selling book, directed 10 movies. I got movies on Hulu, Stars, DirecTV, Dish Network. And I had to tell myself, Mike, do you think all these people who come to see your movie, 1,000 people, do you think they conspiring to lie to you and tell you dope? That's really how I had to reconcile. Like, do you really think that?
Called disrupting the rational belief.
Yeah.
You identify the belief, identify the evidence to prove it.
Yeah.
And then following that, you identify how is this feeling going to make me feel? Where am I going to be in 5 years?
Yeah.
If I continue to think like this.
Yeah. Well,
that's what you did.
I was suffering from imposter syndrome, where, I was doing the things that I thought I was faking. I'm actually making movies that 2,000 people come see, but in my brain, I'm a fake and I'm gonna be exposed any minute. And it's crazy, man. First time I heard that, Ryan Coogler said it, and I was just like, what? Somebody else feel that? You feel me? Like, I go in a room, speak, and the whole people go crazy, and then I walk out feeling like a fraudulent speaker. You feel me? Like, they just stood up and lied to me. They really, you know what I'm saying? Like, that behavior, man. So, like I said, as of late, man, like, every day, like, now, I just feel like, I think it was a time where I just thought depression would leave, like it would reset, because, I'm sure and for people who don't, depression isn't always situational. Meaning, I lost my mother, I'm depressed. I lost my job, I'm depressed. Those things could correct themselves. Mine was more physiological. You know what I'm saying? I had, misfiring. It's like when the computer go bad in the car, you could tune it up all you want to. You could change the tires, you can paint it. The computer is bad. And unfortunately, just imagine a car where you can't change the computer. So we got to, sometimes you got to trick it. And so, I just don't reconcile with the fact that, man, whole or half, I'm still who I am. You mean I mean? It's like, I like say this analogy that if I gave you an apple pie and I said, what is this? You're going to say apple pie. And if I cut it in half and take half the pie away and show you the same plate and say, what is this? You're not going to say half apple pie. You're going to say apple pie. So my point is, whole or half, people going to be like, that's Mike. You feel me? Like, so why am I being so hard on myself for things that other people haven't been hard on me for? So I just had to reset my expectations and ideas of where I should be, what I should have, how I should love, who I should love, because I'm not living up to that expectation 24 hours of the day, every second. And I think it just kept me in a state of feeling worthless when I'm doing amazing things, man. So it is what it is. That's where I'm at with it now. You feel me? So, I take mirtazapine, Remeron, for depression and anxiety, but it ain't perfect, but it's like a wobbly table, man. You're going to fold some paper up, prop the table up. That's how I see it. That sometimes that little wobble that's
right.
That's too much.
Knock over a whole, drink.
Yeah, you're going to spill your food on the ground from that. So, I just need to prop it up because I can't work a process or a program if I don't have a baseline, if I don't have just get me steady, and then I got to do the work.
So once you figure out where good is at, once you get that foundation up under you, then you can start building. On top of
that's where I'm at with it now.
Higher level.
That's where I'm at with it now. You feel me? Yeah.
So do you think that I got two things? It sounds like some of your issues, like the way you were dealing with it, is the same way why a lot of like men and like even like just straight up like a lot of black men like end up like having difficulty. But I know it's a whole thing, it's a whole worldwide thing, but a lot of black men have a lot more difficulty with depression and deal with it differently because of our lack of inability like to communicate our feelings. Like that was just not something we do.
Well, for me, it was different, man. I'm a very transparent guy, always have been. So I just think I just happened to, get depressed in a time where it was nobody to talk to.
Right.
Nobody knew nothing. You know what I mean? Now, man, it's a Google. Like I said, man, I literally didn't know the word. I had never heard the word depressed, man. Never in my life. I never heard the word depressed. Then, I'm black. So, when you black, man, the answer is God. You know, so take it to God, man. You know, so my take on that is, man, you gotta trust him for everything and don't trust him for nothing. So if it's a doctor out here who prayed to God to go through med school to help people deal with this, he got to be in on that.
Right.
You feel me? So I can't take it to him. He not fixing this. I hate to tell he not, because it's not that. You feel me? It's not. It's something in my mind, man. And so, you know, like I said, of late, man, I just had to reconcile with.
So it's a mechanical issue.
Yeah, it's a mechanical.
Not a spiritual one.
It's not
mechanical.
it's a mechanical issue, man. You know, and to every, you know, and I get, you know, religion gonna play a part in your healing, because I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, so that got to factor into it. But at the end of the day, it's in my head. It's not. It's, you know what I mean. So you know, I lately, man, I just feel like I had some real breakthroughs, man, and I just feel like, you know, me personally, my biggest problem was I got so used to being depressed that I feel like Linus with that dirty blanket. I need this blanket. You feel me? So it was more comfortable to go home and wallow.
And sit in that dark
room. Yeah, it was just familiar and comfortable. And I'm actually an introvert, believe it or not. I'm a homebody, but I just was waddling in this, it wasn't even, I wouldn't say self-pity, but sometimes I used to be like, damn, you got a bad shake. But hell, somebody stuck in a wheelchair, blind with no limbs, got a worse shake than you got. You feel me? So I just had to tell myself, man, you know, it's kind of like this, man. You get a car, man, and you drive this car for 4 years, and if it never breaks down on you. Then it breaks down 3 times in 1 week. You say, crappy, you always breaking down. But you wasn't saying you never break down when it gave you a run.
Right.
So of all the amazing stuff I do,
you fixate on the next.
Yeah, I gotta say, I ain't always depressed, because I made movies, 10 of them. Big ones. I did this, and I did it. So obviously depression, I feel depressed, but I am not depression. It's not always happening. So I got to just tell myself, man, that shit like the clouds, man. It's going to come in, gray clouds, some rain, some thunderstorms, but I can guarantee you, can't tell you when, the clouds going to roll back out. It's going to be blue. It's the law. So the same thing with depression, man. I know it come in. I just got to wait it out.
So you kind of separated the feeling from from the idea of the feeling being you. Yeah. I am not depressed, but I am dealing with depression.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about so you recently made a movie. I watched it. It's about
A State of Mind.
A State of Mind. Was that like an attempt to open up the eyes of people who dealing with something in the same way, but just don't know that it's a prevalent thing?
Well, you know, I made first I made a documentary called Pressure about depression. And then I made A State of Mind. And I made A State of Mind because, you know, I feel like, you know, depression, or the story of depression, is just told wrong. You know, depression is a lot of times not how I see it, but about how the world sees it and how it affects and how it relates to me. So what I'm saying is, if I go to my mother and say, Mom, I'm feeling depressed, she gonna view it as, oh, I got a simple fix, pray it out. If I go to my cousin and say, cuzzo, I feel depressed, he gonna say, simple fix, thug it out. And if I go to my girl and say, oh, I feel depressed, she gonna come with a simple fix, just be positive. You feel me? Like, depression is a lot of times how people around you see it. Like, if I tell a girl I'm depressed, she say, oh man, just be more positive. Like, I ain't thought of that. You feel me? You need to get out more. Oh, I ain't thought of that either. Or you need to eat healthier. Never crossed my mind. You should work. You feel me? Like, none of that's helpful.
Have you ever went to groups or anything like that?
I've been to a couple groups.
Were they helpful?
Yeah, they are. You know, but, you know, because I talk about depression so much, you know, I advocate for it. It's kind of a release for me. And you just know, you know, you're not by yourself. There's some other people out here who dealing with it. And so, man, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm just, at this point, man, it hasn't hindered me in the physical world. I hindered me. You feel me? I put up these barriers. I put up these walls to protect myself from a perceived threat. Like, it's not no threat, but the perceived threat is, man, you know, this girl gonna screw me over, or these things that haven't occurred yet. So I put these walls up. Before you know it, I can't even see over the damn wall. You feel me? Like, and now I'm depressed about that.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
you kind of close yourself in.
Yeah, and you feel almost hopeless. you be like, man, if I could just get this wall down, and you know, I'm an analogy guy. So imagine have a hammer in your hand, a big one, a freaking sledgehammer, and you looking around like, if I could just find a way to get through this wall. You feel me? Like, but it ain't in your head to like knock it down, let it go. You just ain't thinking that. You just want somebody else. What people want, man, is mysticism. You want God to take it away, and it's not gonna happen. You just want mysticism. Like, you don't want to do the hard work, man.
It's hard work.
It's hard work, man. Very hard work, man. So, you know, I've been journaling, but I hate journaling. So came up with a new one. I talking to a voice recorder because it do the same thing to me. I don't want to write. I just don't feel like writing for 20 minutes. But I just lay in bed and just say what I feel, especially when I do something like, you know, when something that usually agitates me and I was able to combat it in a positive way, I'd be like, damn, I did that. So right now, my biggest thing right now, man, is trying to, when I feel it, to recognize I feel it and stop it. Because I'm already an artist. And on top of that, I got these things in my head that make me overanalyze and overthink. So when I feel like I'm thinking, especially if I'm fortune telling or mind reading, because those are two things I do, I know I'm doing it, stop it now.
So you identified it.
Yeah, I gotta stop it now. So my whole process now is trying to, as soon as I feel it, stop it, because you know that's gonna drag on for the next 20 minutes. A story you concocting about this guy over here, and this motherfucker over there doing what he doing.
Right.
You feel me? Like, you know, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? But before, I mean, sometimes, you know, it could be work, and sometimes that work is indeed work. You just be like, man, this is just work. Too much work for me. And so, man, that's just so I'm up with him. I feel very optimistic, man, about where I'm at. You know what I mean? I done did some shit. I did some stuff in my life, man, that I'm proud of, that I know my parents, my mother proud of, you know, my kids is proud of. Man, I can walk around the city with my head up high. So who am I to just beat myself down? Ain't nobody else beating me down.
Right.
Feel me?
Yeah. So what's the future for Skip Thomas, Mike Berry? Like what is the future? I see you working with a lot of, like, I just not even local. I don't want to say local to make it like it's a local thing, but you work with a lot of like anybody who doing something in Cleveland, in Ohio, that's dealing with this video stuff. They dealing with you, and you pushing the envelope and going out way outside of this as well.
Yeah.
So what's the what's because I know people like you goal set. You goal set and you find a specific way to get to that goal, no matter how far it is out your reach. What is your wildest dream? Like, where is this gonna be?
Man, it's simple for me, bro. Like, you know, Adele got a line in the song. She said, "You work hard, you play hard, but you got to find balance in the sacrifice." I done sacrificed a lot, bro, to get to where I'm at, and man, I just want better balance, man. It ain't no money. It's not that, bro. Like, I don't want that. I want that, but bro, if I could just get to a place in my brain where I could actually be present. You know, I had, this is my first movie I did, released on August 27th. It's the first movie that I was there. Before, I feel like I'm up in the clouds just looking down because I'm anxious, I'm nervous, you know, and I ain't talking about a healthy anxious. You know, like they hate it. They did. I just want to, you know, man, money, cool. I need that. Money is right up there with oxygen. I get that. But man, that's not what I want, man. I want to be able to let my guard down in a way that I lie and say it's down. I pretend it's down, but it ain't down. You feel me? Like, I want it to be down, man, so I can open up to a female, so I can open up to my kids and just
a little more vulnerable. Yeah,
and just know that I'm dealing with something, man, but I'm good, man. You know, that's what I want. You feel me? Like, when I travel, man, I feel like Jason Bourne. Like, no.
What you mean? Break that down for me.
When I travel, man, I'm just too. I'm too. I can't even relax. I shouldn't be thinking about where that dude over there. He might be a threat if it jump off. It's this, it's that. Damn, they go to police. I wonder if they looking for me. You know what I'm saying? Just the weirdest things that's going through your head when I should just be like, having a drink, just having a drink and present. You feel me? Like. And so that's just something I'm working on, but that's what's important to me at this point, at this juncture, man. And, you know, no dollar amount could give me that, man. And so I had to tell myself, man, K-Spade, freaking Heath Ledger, Robin Williams, and a myriad of other people, man, they had hundreds of millions of dollars and they killed themselves. So that it's gone.
Money
Money is not gonna fix me. So, where I'm at now, man, I gotta just be happy and content within myself, man. And the people around me are gonna amplify that happiness, amplify that. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for my peace in the eyes, arms, or words of another person. You feel me? But I might as well let another person get into my space in a way that I haven't done in probably since the shit began. I lied to them and told them they was in, but they wasn't. That's why they all got pushed to the curb. You feel me? So, that's where I'm at with it.
So peace.
Yeah, just a piece, my piece. I can't even explain it, man. Like, I can't explain it, man, because it's just this piece I want, and I'll be like, that's it. It ain't even unrealistic, but it's very doable if I just do these things. You feel me? So, I'm over the facade of just, this house on high, this car. They're not gonna solve my problems. They not. They just things that's gonna make other people admire me, but they not gonna. I want to admire me, and it's all part of the story, man. It's just be like, man, I did it. You feel me? Like I did it against immeasurable odds. I'm talking about at times, bro, immeasurable odds, man. Like immeasurable odds. It was times, bro. I could have been out here at any second. I'm talking about 1, 2. I'm gonna give it 30 more days. Literally, I used to say it all the time. Like, I'm gonna give it just 30 more days, just 30. And before you know it, man, after 30 days, I'm gonna give it 30 more. And before you know, I was like, damn, I actually feel just a hair better. I'm gonna rough it out a little more. You feel me? Like, so man, that piece, man, that's gonna be good for me, man. Everything else, I ain't really tripping on, man, because it's all noise. You know what I mean? Like, that's all noise anyway.
If you could talk to, if you could say something like inspirational to like your great grandchildren, if you could speak to them right now, if this was something that they was to open up and look at randomly through YouTube and be like, yo, this your great granddaddy big gang.
Yeah,
like, what would you?
I would say, man, that whatever you got in your mind, whatever you got on your heart, do it, man. Don't worry about what other people are saying, whatever people is thinking, man. People gonna criticize you for everything, man. But throughout all recorded history, there's never been a monument erected for a critic. Monuments are always erected for people who were once criticized. So, man, forget what everybody is saying. It's no right way. It's no wrong way. It's just the way, man. So just go where your heart leads you. Sometimes your heart gonna lead you wrong. You gotta go where your mind leads you. Sometimes your mind gonna lead you wrong, but figure it out from there. Because we imperfect people in an imperfect world, man. But through no matter what, just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. If you can stay consistent, it's gonna come out. Just stay consistent. So that's it.
If you would suggest a book for somebody out there that's going through something like you or something like, which book would you suggest? I know you read, or you have, that was your thing. Like, so is there any specific book or any specific?
Man, I read a couple. I can't even think of the titles right now, man. But if I could suggest anything to one person, I would say put the energy into that you put into social media, and you're gonna figure out the answers. That energy, those 7 hours a day you put into social media, man, cut it in half and just research how you feeling. And the answer's going to be there. You're going to stumble onto the book, the doctor, we just not putting no energy into that. You feel me? So
you on the phone anyway, man.
We on the phone, man. Google something, man. Yeah, man. This your life, man. Like, you feel me, man? And like that I was talking to a lady the other day, man. She was 64. Told me she was first diagnosed that she was depressed when she was 12, man. That was disheartening. 64 years old, bro. My biggest fear, man, is that I won't get better, man. And that's a hopeless feeling, man. Like, getting to where I get, you talking about I fell into a depression in 97, man. So you talking about say 25 years. My biggest thought is I don't have 25 more of this. This was too hard. It was way too hard. So I got to do something. I feel like it's now or never. It's now or never because I ain't got 25. I can't say I'm about to shoot myself, but I ain't doing 25 more. That's a fact.
25 more what?
Years. Depressed. I can't. I don't have it. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't. It was too hard.
Right.
It was just too hard, bro. It was too hard. It was too hard. It was hard. So so since I want to live, it's now or never. I got to do the things I got to do because I don't have that type of fight. You know what I mean? Like it was too costly. It was too great. And again, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to die. But I definitely understand I do. I hate to say that, but man, it just sometimes it's just so crushing. But man, you just gotta figure it out, man. You gotta, if you ain't doing everything you can do, then you don't know how you will feel getting better. Cause you ain't doing it. You feel me? So I ain't doing it all. I'm not working a program. You know what I mean? So since I'm not working a program, I'm like, okay, let me work a real program, man. I got a lot of stuff I want to do in this life. It's some more heights I want to reach, man. When I die, people know that story and be like, man, my man was gunning. He was at it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I tell people, man, I haven't been 100% in 25 years. On my best day, I'm 85. On the best of the best of the best days, I'm 85%. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. But I still get it done, man, because I just feel called. I feel like, the universe is put me in this position, is giving me this gift, and you just give it to me for nothing. That's why I made a movie. I was like, man, I'm a filmmaker, but everybody told me don't make that movie. They was like, why would you make a movie about mental health? I was like, who else gonna do it? So I made it. You feel me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a good film too. What's the name of it again?
A State of Mind. You can watch it on Tubi TV or Amazon Prime, but watch it on Tubi because I make more money.
What about some of the other stuff they could like?
You can watch Banger on Tubi and Amazon. You can watch Hey Mr. Postman. You can watch Legit Paper, Red Dude. But watch State of Mind, man. If you want to just see the a good representation of what I can do and something I'm just proud of, because I shot movies I ain't proud of. I was a money grab or whatever it was, but State of Mind was a responsible movie. It's an impactful movie. It's an insightful movie, man. It's the movie I'm most proud of.